Alrighty, we are back with another solo leveling arise video, and with the release of Gogenhi that dropped just a few days ago, that kind of sums up the 100-day celebration itself, right? We're not getting anything new, we're not expecting anything else, so that pretty much, for the most part, concludes the actual celebration. And so with that being said, I want to go through and take a look at all the different aspects that we got as part of the 100-day, and kind of see whether or not overall was the big celebration definitely worth it? Was it something that a lot of players enjoyed? And kind of take a look at all the different aspects that we did go ahead and get. But real quick, I do have some codes for you guys if you want to go ahead and claim them. Again, if you are supporting me, I already sent them out, so don't worry. Just check your coupon page. But we're going to go ahead and do 100. Actually, we'll do 200 codes in this video. Why not? So 500 essence, 5 gate keys. Definitely helpful, so make sure you guys do claim these. First come, first serve as per usual. But yeah, so let me know your thoughts on the actual 100-day itself. You know, were you a fan of it? Do you think that it was definitely living up to the hype, as you know, 100 days to solo leveling arise? Because keep in mind, right, that, believe it or not, is a pretty big milestone for a brand new gacha game as well. And I feel like with the actual IP of solo leveling, it was supposed to be pretty big. But I'll give you my final thoughts over at the end of how I feel about it. And again, I mean, you kind of already get an idea of how I'm saying it, but when it comes to a big celebration like that, the main thing is definitely revolved around the main units, which was Gogenhi, which unfortunately wasn't exactly the greatest unit that we received of all time. But you know, for a free unit, I don't think majority of players were definitely mad about his kit and everything. But yeah, after we do head and go through the codes, let's go back in game and kind of take a look at everything. And yeah, I guess let me know your favorite part of the celebration itself. I mean, for free-to-play wise, it was definitely a big blessing, just because of the amount of high tier resource we were able to obtain was kind of insane. But let's go ahead and go through it. All right, so that should be all the codes. And again, if you are supporting me, check your coupon page and you should be chilling. But alright, so unfortunately I can't show you guys the login because it is no longer available because I already claimed everything. But the amount of high tier resource that we were able to obtain as a free-to-play / low spender honestly was insane. I mean, the fact that we were able to get a lot of copies for Gogenhi and Hansumi's weapon, if you choose to, was kind of insane. On top of that, you were getting these elixirs non-stop back-to-back, and even still, through the actual 100-day event itself, when it comes to the capsule draw, you were able to obtain some crazy high tier resource, right? Not only do you have an opportunity to pull Jinwoo's Skewer weapon at a 0.1%, which I'm sure some of you guys have pulled it, but on top of that, excluding that, you have an opportunity to pull a lot of resource that you're really not able to obtain on a normal day, right? And I feel like for free to play and low spenders, again, this is a gigantic blessing, just to be able to kind of progress your power level. And for some of you guys, it may have been able to push your account over the edge to where you are able to maybe clear normal Vulcan, right? Because I feel like there are still a lot of players who haven't been able to do so. So through this event alone, from capsule draw just specifically, you were probably able to obtain a lot of resource to kind of boost your account to where maybe you were able to get to that point to beating normal Vulcan, and maybe for some of you guys even clearing hard Vulcan, which is kind of a big achievement, right? But excluding the capsule draw, right, taking a look at the missions as well. And again, we are getting 50 tickets from this alone, and we already got 50 tickets from the actual login itself. So 100 of the rate up draw tickets were given out, which is again insane. But the missions every single day that you do, or I'm sorry, rather are able to obtain, it's just insane. I mean, the capsule draw, again, it's just personally my favorite just because of the RNG wise and the amount of stuff that you can obtain. But this was a pretty cool way of implementing, you know, just make sure you are playing the game every single day, make sure you are completing your missions, and on top of that, you are getting a lot of resource, which I can definitely appreciate as well. And then when it comes to the mini games, I mean, honestly, it may not be like, you know, ooh wow to a lot of you guys, but I actually enjoy these mini games. I think these are actually really fun. And sometimes, like, when I'm not recording or anything like that, I actually do these on my off time just because, you know, it is actually pretty fun and I actually do enjoy it. But again, this is something that I personally like, and maybe it may not be anything crazy to you guys, but yeah, I actually do enjoy these, and I think these are a fun way of implementing, you know, make sure you're playing the game on a daily basis, and while you're doing so, make sure you're playing these mini games, which really are stressful. And I feel like for especially for those who are like tired of like grinding hard stuff, or like quote unquote hard content, whether it be Workshop Rebellion Light or Encore, the brand new instant stages, whatever the case is, sometimes those can be a little bit challenging depending on where your account is at. So having these little mini games definitely takes the relief off of like hard content, and it's actually pretty enjoyable and pretty fun to do at the exact same time. And I actually hope in the future they do implement more of these as like maybe a permanent game mode. But I feel like we will only be getting these during big celebrations, which, you know, a little bit sad to see. But moving on forward, let's go ahead and talk about the chapter 1 and chapter 2 when it came to the 100-day boss story mode. So when it came to these, honestly, again, because we just got this for the what is it, the Grand Summer Festival, I was already kind of like, you know, okay, cool, it is what it is. But honestly, I mean, look, taking a look at the rewards again, you are obtaining a lot, and I mean a lot of high tier resource, right? And I honestly like the cherry on top for the celebration, if they simply removed the gold from artifacts, man, I'm telling you, it would have been by far the biggest celebration of all time for this game. It's just because that plays such a massive role into pretty much your daily grinding, right? I mean, gold is such a big factor for this game, so if they were to remove that, then it would have been fine. But I think if they honestly, for a 100 celebration, and again, it is a pretty big deal for a lot of new gacha games, I really wish they would have kept the entire, like, you know, gold cost removal for the 100 day, not just, you know, keep it for, because we only had it for like what, like 3-4 days in total, and then that was it, and then everything else is pretty much back to normal. So I kind of wish they did go ahead and leave that feature on for the remaining 12 days of the entire celebration. I think that would have been fine, and honestly, it would have given a lot of players just an opportunity to go ahead and farm other stuff that maybe they weren't able to on a normal basis because, again, they're broke, right? So I definitely would have loved that feature if they kept it, but it is what it is. It's better than nothing. And then when it comes to the rock paper scissors challenge as well, I mean, this is pretty fun. I mean, again, I'm not the biggest fan of this just because I actually tend to lose more often than not, but again, for the resource that you are getting from this and the amount of copies that you are able to obtain for Jinwoo's Skewer weapon, I mean, you're probably able to get this weapon maxed out, if I'm correct in saying, and that's going to be a big CC boost for your armory and your account overall, right? So that's going to be crazy huge, just allowing you to kind of maybe get to that threshold you need for certain pieces of content. But yeah, that's not bad. And then again, we are able to obtain another dupe of Gogen He, which is amazing. So let's go ahead and move over to the main topic for this video, which is going to be our boy Go, right? So unfortunately, while Go was a free unit, while he is our first ever fest unit, unfortunately, and this is just how I feel, maybe you guys don't feel the same way, it really didn't feel like he was the main celebration of the, I mean, the main showcase of the celebration, right? I know he is, and he is going to be our first ever fest unit. I really wish they would have done like some kind of special banner animation to kind of indicate that, yes, this is our first ever Festive Rise unit, you know, he's going to be a limited time unit, etc. But honestly, in reality, he just feels like simply another rate up unit that we got, right? Just like Hansumi, just like Amami Mary, just like every single other unit that we've gotten in this, you know, up to this point, he feels the same as any other. So I kind of wish on Marvel's end they would have done like some kind of special celebration banner wise for Gogen He, just to kind of indicate that this, you know, yes, the unit is, he's new, he's a new type of unit, he's going to be here for a limited amount of time. And honestly, I kind of wish that he was not added to the general pool, because typically, you know, I'm used to playing a lot of gacha games to where anytime that we do get ourselves a brand new unit, one that's very limited rather, then they typically don't come back during big celebrations, right? So I kind of wish that Gogen He will not be added to the general pool, but I have a feeling that he will be added to the custom draw banner probably in like 2 months. So yeah, that's the only disappointing part. And well, obviously the unit is not exactly the greatest, but for a free unit and the fact that we are able to get him to A1, I don't think anyone is going to be complaining about that. So you know what, I guess they went ahead and compensated for his bad kit. We got him to A1 for free, and I'm pretty sure in saying if you do play your cards right, you should be able to get his weapon maxed out for free, just based on the amount of copies that you are able to obtain. It's actually kind of a lot. So taking a look at the, what is it, the draw point over here, right? Yeah, you're able to obtain a lot. In fact, I'll actually probably be getting my second copy of Gogen He's weapon probably after this video. And again, just a lot of high tier resource being given out. And then on the third one, that is when you do obtain Gogen He's data. So a lot of freebies being given out, which I definitely do appreciate. And they are adding in more challenges as well. And so yeah, if I had to give a rating for the celebration, I would probably rate it at like 8 out of 10. Honestly, I mean, I'm not even talking about guilds yet either, which is a big factor. Just another, I really can't call it a game mode because it's not really a game mode, but another factor in which, you know, you get to interact with different players, you know, your friends, you know, other players that are playing the game, and just, you know, kind of interact with them and do guild boss, which I think a lot of people actually are a fan of. I've seen a lot of people definitely go ham on this game mode and just kind of get, you know, the high tier resources and everything. So this is actually pretty fun to see, and hopefully they do find more interactive ways to go ahead and just make guild boss more fun for a lot of players, because right now it is fun, it definitely is fun, but over time it will get boring for a lot of players. So hopefully they do find more unique ways to go ahead and spice it up. But Again, I can't be mad at it, and the guild exchange shop definitely is not something to overlook as well. Just more resource you are gaining. And then when it comes to the buff exchange, I haven't seen a lot of people talk about this because I'm assuming they are trying to level up their guild as much as they possibly can, but these are not bad. I mean, the fact that you can get this for a 7-day period of having activity fund increased by 3%, or this is a gold acquisition rate by 5% as well, is definitely not bad, and it is on for a week period. And the gold, I mean, the currency costs only 100, so you can definitely buy multiple of these if you want to, which I actually do appreciate. And I'm assuming this does reset on a weekly basis, so yeah, I feel like this is a pretty cool feature to have, and something that not a lot of people have actually talked about, which I'm actually pretty surprised on. But yeah, so celebration wise, for the 100 celebration, I will go ahead and give it a rating of 8 out of 10. If you were to rate it, where would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being just the absolute worst, and 10 being like by far the best thing that you have ever seen. I don't think anyone will give it a 10 out of 10, truly, just because I feel like it definitely could have been a lot better. Definitely could have been a lot better. But again, when it comes to celebration wise, the main thing for these said celebrations is always the unit. Right, 10 out of 10 times is always the unit that makes the celebration itself like absolutely insanely hyped. But because of the fact that Gogen he was very lackluster, I feel like that is going to bring the rating down for a lot of you guys, which again, I definitely do not blame you guys whatsoever. It definitely could have been a lot better. And I feel like if Gogen he was living up to what he was supposed to do, or whether what he's supposed to be, then he would have 100% carried the celebration, and I feel like he should have from the beginning. But again, it is what it is. He's a free unit. We get him to A1. We get his weapon for free in multiple copies, so really no complaints could be given out. So that's why I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 8 out of 10. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on the celebration, and if there were any changes you could make to it outside of Goken he, what would it be? So let me know in the comment section, right? But on there, take care, peace.